All right, welcome back to another battle report with a couple new armies this time. Same comp restrictions as the last game, so no models over 6 wounds or um, level 3 or 4 wizards. I'm running Kingdoms of Bretonnia with a unit of Knights of the Realm with a standard and a war banner and a first knight, 3 Pegasus Knights, a Duke on Royal Pegasus, with Lance, Virtue, the Falconhorn, Virtue of the Joust, and the Gromwell Greathelm. Then just 5 knights, first knight but no banner, a damsel with battle magic, lore familiar, so she's chosen Fireball and Pillar of Fire. 5 Grail Knights with a first knight and a banner. My 10 skirmishing archers, and then the Green Knight is waiting in the woods. My opponent has 2 grudge throwers, 1 gyrocopter, big brick of warriors with a battle standard bearer Thane on his shield bearers, 2 small units of iron drakes with the trollhammer torpedo, unit of iron breakers with a runesmith. There's an engineer back there, and then 1 unit of rangers in the woods. The Bretonians pray to the lady, so the dwarves go first. The gyrocopter flies forward. He moves forward, takes some shots, kills Grail Knight. The stone thrower lands on the Duke and does 2 wounds to him. That was about it. He stayed out of charge range. My turn. The Duke blows the Falconhorn, so the gyrocopter is not going anywhere, so the Pegasus Knights fly over to deal with that. The Green Knight appears in this woods and charges the... He has to be an inch away and wholly in the woods. So he charged in. A couple of the dwarves with the new skirmish change couldn't move the 3 inches to rank up against them, so they just died. But then he killed a couple and they gave ground, so not a big deal. I pushed my knights forward. My Duke flies forward to sort of threaten a few things. Basically, I just want to try and avoid his big infantry trying to do a frontal charge into his big infantry blocks and clear away some of his smaller units. The dwarves push forward a little more. More shooting kills another Grail Knight, but that was about it. Again, the Green Knight didn't do much. Pushed the dwarves, gave ground, or I think it might have even just been a tied combat. But yeah, his shooting is pretty ineffectual against my knights. So that's good. They're set up well. My turn. Both lances charge the iron breakers, and because of the narrow frontage, they're able to sort of squeeze through the gap. The Pegasus Knights kill the gyrocopter and overrun. And then the Green Knight wasn't doing great in this combat against the dwarves, so and I felt like these 2 combats would go well, which was actually riskier than I thought. I sort of think like, a full lance should be able to kill 4 dwarves, but they don't. I think they killed 1 dwarf, and he happened to roll high on his fallback in good order. So I've done well in following up and getting out of some charge arcs. I'm not going to get flank charged right away. So the Grail Knights and the Duke went after the Rangers as well, and with the help of the Green Knight, they wiped the Rangers out, or the Rangers fled, and then the Green Knight pursued them. And I guess this wasn't quite the end of the turn, because these 2 units then reformed, facing back this way. So we were wondering how this would work. These warriors have drilled, so they can expand their frontage. We weren't sure if they could do that. Then they'd be able to see, so they could declare a charge. We said that they could, so they do end up getting a flank charge here and blunting the lance, but I think looking at the rules, I think that they can't because it is a move and you can't move within 1 inch of an enemy. And even if they could, you have to declare your charge before you use drilled. Seems to be the rule. It's a complicated game. So what happens is with these dwarves charge that lance in the flank. They break and flee. They have to take some perilous. They run through some enemies, so a couple more even die. So 2 are left, fleeing over here. The Ironbreakers turn around, shooting again. I think he kills another Grail Knight with the stone throwers. Go back a sec. I won combat again, forced these Ironbreakers to give ground, and I've chosen to restrain and pivoted to look over here at the Engineer and the Stone Thrower. Okay, so some crazy combats here. The Green Knight tried to charge the Engineer and failed. The Duke charged the Engineer, killed him, overran into the catapult, the Grudge Thrower, which these knights were charged into, and they killed them. Then they both overran and reformed. These knights rallied and moved over. The Peg Knights killed the Grudge Thrower and reformed. The Grail Knights, so the Grail Knights had charged the Iron Drakes, and then the Iron Drakes fled from them and ran to here, which actually meant that my lance that was trying to charge the Grudge Thrower couldn't get through, and we weren't sure how that would work. Like if you do a flee reaction, do you do it in the charge reaction step, or do you do it when these Grail Knights say that they're going to move? Because I would have moved these knights first to contact, and then they would have fled. Doesn't seem like the rules are super clear on when that flee happens. Anyways, I rolled high enough that the Grail Knights caught the 2 Iron Drakes, reformed this way. That meant the Iron Drakes weren't here, so this lance of knights was able to charge through. Yeah, so we switched sides, but we are perilously close to these 2 dwarf combat blocks, and also pretty close to the board edge. So we'll see how she goes. What happened was both dwarf units made their charge. The Grail Knights did great and just gave ground. They fought a challenge against the Ironbreaker champion and won. The lance was charged by the dwarves, blunted, ran. I just stayed on the board, and he rolled low on his charge, so he didn't contact either my rallied knights or my Duke. So that was big. If he had have contacted them and then stuck in combat with none of my charge bonuses, that could have been bad. I think my Duke doesn't want to fight that Thane on Shield Bearers. So he doesn't. He flies over here, charges the side of the Ironbreakers. So does the Green Knight. My Pegasus Knights and my other Knights start moving around behind them. This is a pillar of fire that's bouncing through this unit. I win combat, but the Ironbreakers are stubborn and shield wall, so they just gave ground. We didn't really know how to do that, so we just kept them where they were. Dwarf turn. Oh, what? Did I miss a turn? I think I missed a turn. I think there's another turn of dwarf combat where he turned his dwarfs around. Oh, no, I guess, yeah. Dwarf combat. I forced them to fall back in good order and then followed up. Yeah, I missed the dwarf turn. So the warriors just turn around. This combat's ongoing. I win by a little bit. Force them to give ground again or fall back in good order. I'm not sure. They fell back in good order, but not very far because I followed up, so I would still get my charge bonuses. So this is now my turn. I've charged the Pegasus Knights in as well. So now we're all counting as charging. And we wiped the Ironbreakers out. We called the game there. I mean, I'll just overrun away from these dwarf unit, these doughty warriors here with their Thane, and pretty far ahead on points at this point, and he can't catch me. So yeah, a good game. We both had fun trying out some new things. My opponent liked, it was his first game with the Dwarves, and I think he liked how they did. He sort of thought, I'm going back, I think after this one. At some point he felt like he should have known, oh, it's this fight. He's like, yeah, rather than pursuing, would have made more sense to turn and face. He knows that I don't want to fight the Thane. Although, it'd maybe be. Anyways, he would have been better off turning facing this way. And if I want to charge him in the rear, like, I'm still probably going to lose. So, or I'm stuck in combat with him then. So, I think he felt like this was a bit of an error. But yeah, it's a good game. And yeah, but the Bretonnians were pretty fun. The Green Knight doesn't hit very hard. Is actually pretty slow, but he also doesn't die. So he's interesting. Grail Knights feel a bit bad with only 1 wound each and a 3-up save, but they do hit quite hard. Don't know if they're better than the Pegasus Knights. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully see you again soon with another battle report. Thank you.